Rolling on air. Malcolm Elliott is in the building. What's happening, my boy?
What's poppin'? What's going on, my friend?
I'm chilling, man. Is that 7-Eleven hat or is that like a misbranded 7-Eleven hat? What is
7-Eleven. This is a 7 Mile Rodeo, actually.
Oh, so where did that come from? How'd you get that?
7 Mile Rodeo is the luxury hat store. It's on the corner of 7 Mile and Livernois.
Yeah.
It's owned by Chase Majors. So yeah, this is his brand, his hat store. He's from Detroit. He lived in LA for a couple of years, maybe like 4 years. Opened up a hat store out there, and then finally moved back, and then got a place right there, right off the Avenue of Fashion. So, fashion designer.
Now, man, you worked with some of my friends, including my friend Sada Baby, man. You worked with a lot of major artists in the city. Talk about the experience of working with my dog.
Sada's actually one of my favorite people that, from the city, to have watched, seen from where he started. I remember when he won Imported from the D, I was down there at the radio station doing the Friday night ciphers with DJ BJ. So I remember when he won, I was down at the radio station that Friday, Imported from D happened. And from there, obviously, you see he just took off, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's been really inspiring, watching him, pop off.
Yeah.
Just some of the shows, we did summer jams in 2019. So obviously watching Sada live is watching Sada live is so much energy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so summer jams was cool.
Excuse me.
Personally, a one-on-one conversation I really had with him, but just being around in the space and seeing him constantly on the scene is you see people on the scene, you working. So it's always a grind that you respect and be obviously he took off from there. So
yeah, you've been around a lot of major established artists. One in particular, Royce the 5'9", man. And talk about your experience working with him as well.
Royce is big bro, you know what I'm saying? He is to be able to call somebody like that a friend of mine, Where I spend days in the studio with Royce just watching him work, and he's not human. This man is not he's a legend for a reason. Royce, his process is so meticulous, you feel me? And his style is is one of a kind, you know what I'm saying? He's a real legend, you feel me? And so just being in the studio with him and just being in those spaces for me is I always be in a room and I feel I deserve to be there. You know what I'm saying? I'm here around these people for a reason.
Right.
It's because I'm working. You know what I'm saying? And so seeing Royce in his element, you feel me, it's just I'm really just taking notes. You feel me? I'm just soaking up as much as I can because I feel that's what I'm supposed to do. And Royce is one of the catalysts in the city as far as somebody on his level that really got his ear to the streets, for real. Him and Courtney Bell was just on The Breakfast Show, you know what I'm saying? So just to put his arm around artists that he, you know what I'm saying, that he values and he sees the talent, you feel me? They may just not have a spotlight on him like that. He's using his platforms and stuff to help people, you feel me?
Yeah, it's an interesting discussion because a lot of younger artists in the scene or upcoming artists or established artists even are looking up at the big dogs and saying where you guys are at. For instance, I know even PZ were saying where's Eminem at? Where's that hand for the city and for the upcoming guys? And Royce kind of is taking that role right now and saying I'm still here. I'm here, even though I'm mainstream, even though I've done it worldwide, globally. I'm still here to tap in with you guys.
Absolutely.
And you being one of the people that he's tapping in with is obviously a substantial thing because it's not like he just says hi to everybody. It's not like he just works with anybody.
Absolutely.
Talk about how you guys formed that relationship.
So I was with artist Travis Chandler.
Yes, I know Travis. And
Travis has done so much great shit around the city, as far as just music, and Travis is a monster himself. And so Travis is one of the people who, when I met on the music scene when I first started making music, noticed my talent and was bro, I want to make music with you. I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And he and Royce have a connection where him and Royce are brothers. You know what I'm saying? Where him and Royce have, talked about stuff and gone through things. And so he brought me to Royce studio to meet Royce. And that is when I met Royce, and it was Royce respected me from day one, and it was damn, is having somebody like Royce just talk to you, and Royce instantly was I want to hear all your music, everything you got, show me. And I was so happy I had shit to show him. And it was before I even dropped this song called Say Today, and I was like, this is the one I wanted to be like the single I dropped.
Yeah.
And Royce was one of the few people, like, or one of the first people I should say, to be like, bro, just drop all of that shit. He was just like, drop all of that shit. It's gonna do what it's supposed to do.
Sure.
Like Royce was just like, just do it, whatever it is, just do it.
Can you bring that mic a little bit closer to you?
A little closer.
Yeah, just bring. Yeah, keep doing that. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So Cam, you want this?
So building that relationship with Royce is like obviously legendary, and like you said, you only can be put in these rooms if you. Oh yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah, you don't have to. You can just cut right through. Yeah. You can't be in the rooms unless you belong in the rooms, and that's always been my opinion about the music scene. So obviously, since you belong in the room with a lot of these major artists, let's talk about the beginning. First of all, are you from Detroit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, talk about just growing up in Detroit and how that's influenced your music.
When I first was born, we lived on like Joy Road in Greenfield, and I moved to Chicago briefly when I was an infant, and then my dad got another job and we came back, and I moved from when I was like 7, probably moved from like Joy Road in Greenfield to the west side, 7 Mile, and just growing up there has been interesting, honestly. Just growing up through high school and just college for me was different because I went to school for music. You know what I'm saying? I played the saxophone and stuff. Cool. And I always knew I wanted to do something with music, but I wasn't really sure what, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was like, while I was in college, like playing the saxophone, it kind of made it like not fun for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I went to Wayne State, you know what I'm saying? So like for me, playing the saxophone was just something I liked to do. You know what I'm saying? It's something I was really good at. Something I had put a lot of time in. Something that had took me across the world. Like I traveled and toured playing the saxophone in Europe and stuff. Like it's done a lot for me, and I wanted to continue down that path, but it just wasn't like my passion to just be like the best saxophone player in the world. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it was like when I was in school and school was making it like a job, I was like, what can I do to be like, you know, to get another like creative release, just to get stuff off my chest, you know what I'm saying? Because I was stressed out. It was a stressful time for me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it just started off as like poetry, you know what I'm saying? Where I was writing poems, and you know, one thing led to another, and it turned into songs, you know what I'm saying? Right. And then I started making my own music and shit. And then like I was already a musician, like a pretty good musician to be, you know, a scholarship to college and stuff. So I know what good music sounds like. You feel me? So, so mixing my musicality growing up with like just me being a fan of like rap and hip hop and R&B and stuff, like I had all these abilities that I can now put on display in music. And it was like, you know, it really just started as me trying to get away from life. You know what I'm saying? It was like a stressful time. Right on. Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of people say that the music they create is like more of a therapy session for them. Than anything else, and then, you know, you can pursue it as a hobby or a career if you would like to, you know what I mean? Yeah, and it's just like what I was doing, I felt it just felt real to me, and I feel like that's why people connect with my music, you feel me, is because they feel like it's real, you feel me? Where is the main your reciprocation from? Where is your demographic for your core audience? That is a very interesting question, because I feel like some people might say it's like the hip-hop heads almost, but like I've tried to hit multiple demographics, you know what I'm saying? Like from, like I feel like it's a lot of tracks that don't sound the same, you know what I'm saying? Like you got hip hop tracks, you got R&B tracks, I got EDM tracks, you feel me? It's like, it's something for everybody when you go look me up, you feel me? Like every track is not gonna sound the same. And I feel like that element to my music is what keeps people like interested when I release music, because it's like, okay, his last joint was like a smooth R&B track. That was cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a bop, but it was like an R&B joint. Then like, this one is like, okay, he rapping. You know what I'm saying? He's able to, okay, now he playing the saxophone sometimes. It's like working with different artists and producers. I'm always working with different producers anyway who have different sounds. And so it's like, I've cut tracks with so many different types of artists and people. It's like, these are great songs. They just all sound different. But if my core audience is honestly it's hard. I try to pinpoint it, but it's like, I feel like it's just whoever. Do you feel like Detroit's a part of that? Do you feel like Detroit's a part of that demographic, and how do you feel like the reciprocation is there from them? Yeah, I feel like people in the city rock with me. You feel me? Like it's a respect thing, and I feel like it's like I walk in the rooms and I just think I'm me. You feel me? I don't know who knows me. I don't think I'm like fucking like Big Sean or something in the city or something. You feel me? Like I don't really expect people to be all over me like that. You know what I'm saying? But when people do approach me in public or in places that I don't expect, like a fucking CVS or a gas station or wherever, it's just like, damn, like I respect you for even coming up to me and letting me know you fuck with me enough to even do that. Like I'll be at parties and people will be looking at me and won't say shit. You feel me? And it'd be like kind of weird. And I'll be like, okay. And then like the very end of the party, they walk up and it'd be like, yeah, you make music and shit, right? And I'd be like, yeah, like, oh, I ain't want to be like I was dick sucking or something. I'm like, why is it dick sucking if you fuck with me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like just say you fuck with my shit and be like, that's cool. I'll fuck with the fact that you do, but I don't want people to feel like self-conscious. It's like it's crazy. Like in the city showing love, sometimes it's just like people are weird about it. I don't know why. It's strange.
Yeah, I try to figure it out myself. I don't know why complimenting somebody and supporting somebody is a problem.
Not funny like ha ha. Funny like whatever TikTok that shit was. But no, that's for real. Like it'd be kind of strange for real. And but I'm all about showing love. You feel me? And I feel like I just want to make timeless classic music. And I feel like everything we drop is a classic. Everything we was talking about Stevie Wonder, me and Nick just before this, like timeless music is timeless music.
Facts, bro.
Shit that I made years ago, it's like I'll cut it on and it still sound fire today. And I'm like, bro, this shit is gonna forever be fire. Yeah. Like that's why I'm like, we can't do nothing. It's a quality to my music that I feel like people who are fans of me enjoy because I really like don't miss. Like I really like take pride in music. You feel me?
What have been some of your major milestones that you think that people should know about from your music career so far?
Before, when I was 15, like I said, on the saxophone, I had toured Europe for 10 days with a Renaissance high school band, and it was like it was crazy because it was really a tour. Like I remember loading the bus up at fucking like 3 a.m. to drive like 6 hours to the next country to like get out, unload the bus, and then set up and play for some people who don't even speak the same language as me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was really breathtaking, and it was like in between we had time to be like tourists a little bit, but it's just like seeing a different side of the world at that age. It was kind of crazy, and like through school I was just working, but applying it to my music, like now personally, like just being able to say I performed at summer jams. You know what I'm saying? To say that, have Footlocker sponsor me, like got me and my whole team, outfits and everything. Like
talk about that process with Footlocker, man. Talk about how that comes about.
Like that was imported from the D. So the same thing I was talking about with Sada, like I had one in 2019. So that came like, and that was like through DJ BJ and Hot 107.5. And so that was like Footlocker collaborated with them. It was like, then it was summer jams, photo shoots, all of it. It was real nice. So when I met Royce, I also met his engineer, which name was Brian Jones. And shout out to B Jones. And Brian and me, he produced like a lot of my tracks, you know what I'm saying? So me and Brian had formed a relationship basically. And so via that, like me and him had cut a lot of demos. And so I got a placement with Yellow Wolf because Yellow Wolf came to Detroit to like see Royce, and Brian played him some of our demos. He ended up liking one of the tracks. And it just so happened it was one of the ones I was singing like the vocals on and just cut a demo on. And not only did Yellow Wolf like it, he took it and he made it the single of his next project. So he made a music video. It was like the first single off of it. And so it was like, just to hear my vocals on the track with Yellow Wolf was already like mind blowing. For sure. You feel me? And just to have even got paid off of it is mind blowing. Yeah. But then like a week later, LeBron James is playing the song that I'm on with Yellow Wolf on his Instagram story.
Legendary.
And so I was like, yo, I remember calling B Jones and I was like, yo, do you know LeBron is playing the song right now that you produced that we on his Instagram story? And he didn't know. He was like, bro, what, you're lying. I said, bro, why would I lie about this? Yeah. Why would I lie about something like that?
That'd be dumb lie.
I was like, bro, go look at the Instagram right now. It was very mind blowing to see like LeBron James has fucking heard my voice in some type of way. Like it's just like, bro. It was wild. But like rapping on the radio, premiering a song on the radio. Like the song Say Today, I premiered on Hot 107.5. You know what I'm saying? Getting the freestyle on the radio, just my life is lit. You know what I'm saying? Like people like who are not aware of the music scene might not know, but like I've done a lot of shit in my mind. But I feel like I haven't done enough, like opening up for Jacquees at the music hall. You know what I'm saying? And that was shout out to Crowd Freak, Curtis and everybody over there. Like through them and me and my boy Be Free. Like that show was sold out. It was 3,000 people there.
Man.
Like it was crazy.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Being backstage and just like witnessing all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, man.
Shit is lit, man. It's just like a lot. I feel like milestones is just I've yet to reach. I just premiered another single on the radio. You know what I'm saying? After like over a year of not dropping music. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not like regular artists, you know what I'm saying? Like we really take this shit seriously.
No, it sounds like you are hitting more of the mainstream areas, the stuff where the whole world's gonna be able to hear it, and it's gonna be over the nation and stuff like that. Now, do you look at the Detroit underground scene? Can you see it from a different perspective, or do you feel like you're in that demographic as well?
I feel like in the perspective of being in the scene, I feel like I definitely got a different perspective because I know like people on the scene. Like if you go to these open mics and you going like, I'll be in there. You feel me? I've heard like the really good artists that people might not know about. It's so many to name for real. It's like.
So what I'm saying is then when you're looking at these two worlds, I feel like you're hedging more towards mainstream, obviously global, that professional sound. And so when you look at the underground, we can all appreciate the underground. We all appreciate what it is, and there's probably more people in it than in the mainstream, obviously, because everybody's trying to make it in the underground. I feel like the underground is partially people. Everybody's trying to make it, obviously. There's just different levels of it. The people who are on the borderline of being mainstream just haven't made it yet. Then there's the people who are really, really well known locally. People who have a niche and all that stuff.
Right.
When you look at that, what's your perspective on that? Do you appreciate it? And also, do you feel like the mainstream is the way to go? How do you feel about that collectively?
I feel like there are more than one ways to become successful. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go mainstream and sign a deal and, you know what I'm saying, being a 360 or whatever the fuck niggas fear and get fucked out of it. But you have fame now, so you could at least capitalize off of it when your contract is up, or you could, you know, not sign or do whatever independently and just be at like the level that you don't really go like mainstream, like maybe like a currency, but like you so like known still, like and respected in the industry, you know what I'm saying? And you still work with obviously legends and greats. It's like it's more than one way, I feel like, to be successful. Like Bun B was talking about, like the most successful people in the music industry are some people that names you don't even know, you know what I'm saying, who are behind the scenes and have credits on this and have samples on this and just a lot of things like that. So it's more than one. You could be a songwriter, you could be this and that and the other. So you don't have to be like a mainstream artist. But I do like being an artist, you know what I'm saying? I do like making music. I do like the process. It's just something that I feel like, you know, you feel like you're born to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, feel like your destiny and your just life all just collide. It's just like every part of it is something I like, helps the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's like finding your purpose. I feel like music and being an artist was just what I was supposed to do.
For sure. When you're working with these high level tier artists and producers and everybody in the scene, what are you gathering? So you've probably been on both ends. You've probably been in the independent scene, the underground scene, witnessed that, and then you've been on the mainstream line with, you know, obviously Royce the 5'9". And what's the differences in the process, do you think?
I feel like it's just like your network and your resources, like what you really have at disposal and what you have, you know, your credibility and just having work to show. Like whenever somebody want to check you out, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people I know make music, but, you know, when I ask them, like, can I hear some of it? They don't be having it. They be like, oh, I'm still working on it, whatever. And it was like, I remember when Royce asked me to hear everything I had so much shit to show him, and I was happy that I did, because I'm like, he could really grasp, like, how deep of an artist I was. And he, like, literally, we sat there and went through all probably, like, 20, 30 tracks I had, and Royce listened to everything, and he just sat there and he listened, and he's like, you dope. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like, okay, I didn't really need confirmation because I believe in myself. But it was like when a legend tells you that you're fucking dope, it was like, dude, I took it to heart. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like the process that Royce has. Like Royce drop a project and he'll go on Jimmy Fallon. He'll go on 4 different radio shows. Just like it's so planned and calculated. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just working at a higher level. But I feel like people being exposed to like that type of network, I feel like it's just about your resources and just your connections and trying to utilize them. You know what I'm saying?
when you were talking about the 360 deal earlier, and you said basically some people have a big problem with the 360 deal. Some people have a problem with contracts in general, but you had a different outlook. Like, yeah, you might sign a deal that sucks right now as far as maybe the money is concerned or what you have to do, but now you just have you just got exposed, you have exposure with people that are going to open more doors for you.
Right.
So talk about that a little bit.
I feel like that's what a lot of artists just choose to do, because that is not a terrible plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, being able to become famous and then being able to try to accrue enough resources on your own after the deal is over, hopefully, to, pay off whatever you owed and then obviously live a life for yourself.
Why do you think people are complaining about it anyway when it does come up?
Because people don't want to feel like they got fucked out of a contract or fucked out of or scammed or anything like that. Like, especially Detroit niggas. But it's just like so many times I feel like people pay for exposure and wasn't able to sustain it, I guess. Yeah. But I also understand people going the independent route, because people sometimes look at deals as just a loan from a bank. And it was like, if I could just go get a $50,000 credit, loan from the bank, and do whatever you have to do if you have those resources. Sometimes it's about having the connections. Like, people might have 50 bands and might not even know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, where do I put it at?
Yeah, man.
Where do I invest it in?
Yeah, somebody gives you $50,000, you're an upcoming artist. You have only a few options, really. You can blow it, right? You can use it in ways that don't no return on investment.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can fumble it, or you can build something out of it.
Yeah, and it's like, what are you going to do with it? And so I feel like it's just knowing what to do with it and knowing your connections. But I always wanted to be in places where I just let my talent speak for itself.
For sure.
And I feel like, I don't know, I never really did a lot of interviews or anything like that. I just whenever I got the chance to speak on things, I just wanted people to know, like, it was never coming from a place where I wanted to be an artist for like the fame or the fortune. Like, I just do this shit because this is what I love to do. Yeah. Yes, and that's as deep as it go. If it makes me rich and famous, that'll be fine. But if it don't, then I'm like, I'm still cool with that.
For sure. And you've worked with one of the biggest breakout artists in the past decade, which is T Grizzly. And talk about that experience.
That show was wild. So we had just got done opening up for Rich Homie Quan down at the L Club. And 13 from the DJ Coalition hops on stage literally as I'm wiping sweat off my face and was like, I'm throwing a show with Sada and T Grizzly. I need you in this band there. And I said, and at this point, like, opening up for Rich Homie Quan was like one of the biggest, like my biggest show I ever did. You feel me? So it was like, literally as I'm on stage, like, have just done the biggest show I ever did. Like, literally, a woman walks on stage and says, I'm throwing a show at T Grizzly and Sada, and I need you there. And I'm like, I don't care what I have to do. I will be there. You know what I'm saying? And so that show it was like, they threw like a city show, like down at St. Andrews. Cool. So it was at St. Andrews Hall. And so, me and my band got there early, did sound check. That shit was crazy. Like, that bitch was packed. That shit was wild. And I remember it was like Snap Dogg was there, and Oprah Roland was there. And man, you would not believe it. So me and my band had went rocking. I remember B-Free was there. And all of a sudden, niggas just start fighting. Bro, on my soul. Like, I don't even know if Sada or T Grizzly got a chance to perform, because niggas got to fighting in that bitch. Like, it was so wild. Right. Like I have not been in a stampede of people in a very long time.
I know what you mean. I've been there, man.
I was in the atrium talking things over with the band and my cameraman, and when the niggas started fighting and people started running, and so I'm up on the stairs just like watching people run out the door. I'm watching them go by. I'm talking about droves of people. I'm like, bro, it was a lot of people there. It was, at that point, it was the biggest show I had ever done. It was like right after the biggest show I ever done. It was the show even bigger than that. I was like, bro, this shit was wild. But that was a wild experience, because it was like almost everybody in the city was down there, and then for some reason or another, niggas started fighting.
You also have worked with literally one of my favorite comedians of all time. I actually got to watch him perform. The Kings
Oh,
of
man.
Comedy.
I
I
love
think I
George
seen him
Lopez.
7 years ago. Legendary George Lopez, man.
George Lopez,
Yeah.
and shout out to Cell, who hosted Hot 107.5 when I premiered 3:13 p.m. Calabasas, the new single. Cell actually plugged me with that. I feel was that 2017, 2018, but Cell plugged me with a gig that was like at a church because they was shooting like a new TV show pilot for like a show that was about like superstitions or something. It was weird, and it was like it was a different star for every show, and it was in a different city. And for Detroit, our star was George Lopez.
Bro.
And so they want to put it together like an event. So it was at this church, like right off Hamilton, and I was an artist that Cell reached out to because he was like, I noticed that some of your music you're not really cussing for real. And I'm like, that's like one of like the hidden gems about my music is like, not that I don't be trying to cuss, but it just be like, for whatever reason, I'm just not. So niggas be like, I could play your shit around my grandma. Like, bro, you really be snapping. I ain't even noticed till like the third time I listened to it. You ain't really say fuck or shit or pussy or whatever the fuck. Niggas be like, bro, you really be snapping. And I'm like, bro, that's how you know I'm good, because I really be snapping. I don't really gotta say all of that shit unless I really want to. And so it just be the fact that niggas be doing that and saying that about my music. But I'm high. I don't even know what we was talking about. George Lopez. Yeah. So George Lopez. So being at the church when he called me there, I performed at this event and my band was there again. And George Lopez is there, and we watching them shoot the pilot for this. The theme of our show was trying to get the curse off the Detroit Lions.
Oh, okay.
It was like we had 0-16, whatever it said. They was like the Lions is cursed, and so it was this episode at a church where George Lopez was there, and it was cool because afterwards, like George Lopez really sat there and chopped it up with us, like right there on the sidewalk, right outside the church, and it was just like he's one of them people who's just naturally funny. Like he's not really trying. Like you could just tell he's just a naturally funny ass person.
Right on.
And it's like, dude, it was so like it really touched me to see that. And it was like it was another comedian from Detroit that was there that was asking him questions about like being a comedian, like the path he would have to take to try to reach George Lopez level. And George Lopez was giving him game. And I was like, I'm not a comedian, but like George Lopez is talking, I'm going to listen. You feel me? And it was just cool to see that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's awesome. Cool. George Lopez is one of the funniest men to ever live. Like legitimately.
Yeah, facts.
It's only like, I'm not gonna say anything else about that because I get in trouble. But yeah, he's a legend for sure. But I want to talk to you a little bit about. So since you know both sides, you know the mainstream side, and you obviously know the local side, the underground side. Do you want to touch in on me with this whole controversy with artists expecting the handouts? Not handouts, but even just expecting the presence of a major artist. Now, in particular, we can talk about like the Peasy situation. So Peasy started putting on billboards, where's Marshall? And it's kind of like a thing of saying like, where you at? Like, this is Detroit, this is your home.
Right.
We need you here to kind of help these artists out. Like, bring us up. Bring us up. It's our time to be brought up by you. That. And do you have a perspective on that at all?
I see how other people view like Atlanta and view other like major cities where they feel like it's a pipeline for artists to like Chicago, like just to be themselves and like pop because a major artist can reach back and fuck with them. Like a Thug and a Lil Baby and Gunna, and then you got like Chicago, you had like Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa, No Name, they all kind of came up together. It was like to have a pipeline to where artists really feel like it's a chance that where it's like we all could make it. You know what I'm saying? We all could like really get to that level if we really just had like that exposure. But it's like you feel like artists refuse. People feel like artists refuse to like let people, shine for whatever reason, or they feel like it's hate or envy or whatever. But as an artist, it's like sometimes you want to. It's deeper than you. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes artists, like somebody that's like Eminem, you almost think of him as like a company. You feel me? It's like almost probably like more people around him that's like advising him, and you know what I'm saying? Like he's to himself a business, like Jay-Z is like he's a business. So it's like obviously he makes decisions for himself, but if there are artists out there who feel like they don't have to reach back or do whatever they have to do in their own city, it's like you have to think it's a reason for it. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it would be.
And I love that perspective because I don't think anybody would have ever brought that perspective up. That Eminem is not just singularly himself. Like, this is a company. This is probably, it looks like it's just Eminem,
Yeah,
but it's probably much, much bigger than that. And
It's
how
much
things
bigger
work
than
is
himself.
not totally up to him. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I get that people like Eminem can reach a different demographic, and I feel like obviously Eminem is like the biggest artist, or arguably, to come out of Detroit, like on the hip hop scene. Like Eminem, like revolutionized the game, especially for white rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, I don't know. You see like a lot on internet a lot of times, like you see Eminem hate. You feel me? And it's just like Eminem did do a lot for hip hop itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we don't get like a Mac Miller. You know what I'm saying? If we don't have Eminem. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Eminem, and this to like say he doesn't make good music is like Eminem be snapping. You feel me? Like I know people like I don't ride around listening to Eminem. I'm like, you don't, but I be hearing his ass like ride by. You feel me? Whether it's Slim Shady or whatever it is, like like man, it's so crazy. It's just being. And I remember when Eminem was about to drop Kamikaze, and it was right after he had dropped the album with Beyonce singing like the Waterfall song on it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like I guess like the mass public didn't really fuck with it like that.
Yeah.
And I remember walking into the like Heaven Studios, Royce Studio, and Royce was writing his verse to the song he has on Kamikaze. And so I was like, okay, this is an Eminem song. But, you know, an unfinished Eminem song, I'm hearing an Eminem demo. You know what I'm saying? It's just to be in those type of rooms. It's like, dude, it was like, and when I heard the song, I was like, not that I didn't like it, I was just iffy on it. I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. You know what I'm saying? But when I heard, like he dropped Kamikaze like very, very soon after. Like it was like one of those things that people didn't expect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we didn't expect it.
You know what I'm saying? So when he dropped it, I was like, oh, he dropped this very, very soon. And when I heard it on the tape, that was when he was like snapping on like Machine Gun Kelly and shit. Like he was going crazy. I was like, yo, I would never even try to question this man ever. I was like, this man is going crazy.
You wouldn't want to mess with him.
Eminem's a goat. You feel me?
Yeah, he has a lot of eyes on him right now. Even the game is after him, and everybody's pressing on him. They want the attention, but it's at the end of the day, I like the approach of just sticking to your bag and focusing on yourself and not really focusing on others, because there's plenty of people I could probably help, but I need to focus on myself right now. And, we don't know his situation, so it's like he could be focusing on himself. But one thing I'm focusing on right now, man, is, I really thought I could be sliding in more DMs and hooking up way more than I am right now. And I'm doing all right. I'd say the numbers have improved, but dating has definitely changed. Shit is different in this world now with the women, and I think it's a lot to do with social media. But what's your take on dating in 2022, man?
Oh my God, I don't want to get canceled.
We're all gonna.
I feel like I got to a point in like being single to where I really had to focus on myself, to where I really wasn't like girl crazy or anything like that, and it just made me like go harder, like going harder for yourself. And kind of seeing the fruits of your labor come to be, you feel me, is a very, very rewarding process. And it makes you want to do it over and over again. It makes you want to just keep that cycle of improving yourself. Because one thing you do know is that the hoe's going to be there. And whenever you decide to be like, damn, I need the hoes is going to be there. You feel me? I don't care how down bad I am. It's a bitch in my phone. If I really try hard enough, if I scroll through enough contacts and see enough haze, what's up, big head, eyes, a bitch gonna fuck. You feel me? I know it's one of them. If I really wanted to try that hard, but it's like, do I really care enough to go through that process? You know what I'm saying? Where I do that, like, listen.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying.
Hey, it's like, but some niggas is wild. But as far as dating, I feel like people should just have fun. I try not to put too much pressure on anything. You feel me? I want things to develop naturally.
Yeah.
You feel me? I feel like respect is the minimum. You feel me? I feel like it's very weird. Niggas being ass like be making me like look good for women, and it kind of like annoys me sometimes. Where it's like if I get a girl a flower, like it's women who be like, I've never gotten flowers before. And I'll be like, it's like almost like applauding a fish for swimming for me. It's like, this is regular shit. This is like pulling your, like opening the door for you. It's like, this is just regular shit to me. You feel me? Like actually like the idea of like courting a woman. But I feel like when you meet a girl, like you kind of compartmentalize like which type of girl she's going to be for you. Like is this going to be like somebody I really pursue, a bust down, you know what I'm saying? Like or something in between there. You feel me? It's like you kind of just put them in the category, and like based off like your first interaction with whoever it is, it's like you kind of in your mind kind of know what area they fall in. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Is that for me is like, all right, but like at every level I at least try to respect them. Like you might not be like a Red Lobster bitch, but you know what I'm saying, but you could be a 4 for 4 bitch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You could be a, you feel me? Like I don't want to take you out in public, but I want you to feel like I don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll just be for real. Like you was gonna slide. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just one of them things.
Women do it to us too, though. There's some women that are like, I'm not gonna let you take me out. I'm not gonna let you go in public with me. But you can. We can buzz. We can go in the bed and do some shit. But
I feel like it's just about communication. I feel like as long as everybody say what it is and what you want and how you feeling, what you thinking. Then we don't have nothing to guess. I don't like doing nothing that's like the gray area in life, or like questioning. I don't want to have to question anything in life. I just want to be able to define what something is or what something isn't. Or if we can't define it, just leave it as undefined. But I don't want to have to go question what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like if I got to question something, I don't even want to fuck with it. You feel me? I'm like, no, I need to establish what something is. So it's like up front, women love telling you more than what you ask for. Like it was like, look, I'm just not looking for anything right now. But I didn't ask you for anything right now. You feel me? It's like I wasn't about to ask you to be my girlfriend tomorrow. What the fuck was you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But it just is weird. It's like it's knowing that you have never even experienced somebody even trying to like respect you or talk to you like a human being. Like I can only imagine the type of niggas you deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, what kind of niggas have you been exposed to? It's like it's a lot of niggas I know with no home training, so it's like Lord knows what you've seen.
Man, no, that's the best perspective I've ever heard on this shit, man. Ladies are gonna love that. For sure. When we put that out there, ladies are gonna love. No, they're not gonna care. I think the ladies are gonna have your back with that. They're gonna be like, yeah, you right. I'm not getting treated the way I should. Even if you just want to fuck, I should still be getting treated a certain way.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this nigga is a.
I'm telling you, man.
No, but for real. Like, my favorite line is like, I'm not trying to do nothing you not trying to do.
Exactly.
That's my go-to.
I'm gonna stamp that. That's the stamp.
In this world, I have to say that. You feel me? I don't even want nothing to be misconstrued. I don't want you to even feel like nothing. I don't want to feel like people talking about they got game and just pull her. I'm like, I don't even want to have to put game on you. That would feel too close to coercing you into giving me some pussy. I just want you to like me for me. Yeah. Like if at any time you was like, damn, I thought this nigga was cute or funny, I'm like, this is me for real. The same Malcolm you meeting is the same Malcolm that nigga know and everybody else know. Yeah. Like I'm just this all the time. And so people be like, you know, like women it's honestly is talking to so many kinds of women and in different spaces. It's just like, dude, you don't want to be like they all crazy, but pretty much it's like it's what you just gotta pick your favorite kind of crazy. You feel me? Like the crazy that you want to put up with. You feel me? Because honestly,
it's like everybody's crazy, but it's just different types of crazy.
Yeah, and it's like I used to think Law and Order was just like some TV show shit. Talking to so many women, you really realize there's a lot of women out there that's still dealing with like some traumatic shit, like really like Law and Order type of shit, like some fucked up shit, like that you need to go to therapy for. And it's like a lot of women are still like healing from things, whether they was younger kids or if they was in college and something else happened. Just a lot of wild shit where it's like, damn, that's wild. And it was like you really realize this shit is not as uncommon as you think it is. That's why I'm like, bro, my problem is I be wanting people to come healed. I be wanting you to just be over your trauma and your whatever else when you get to me, because I don't want to have to be your therapist, because I feel like I've had to be a therapist for women before.
Yes.
And it's not a job I wanted to have. You know what I'm saying? Not that I didn't want to be there for you. Like, I'm going to be here for you, but I didn't know that it was just this deep. I didn't know it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is some deep shit.
I know what you mean. There's a lot of trauma, and you're right. And that's probably where the shields come from and everything like that for women who, you know, they seem like they're off-putting and everything, but it's just that they've been through so much. And I hope people watch this clip. I hope when men watch this clip, they look at that and go like, damn, you're right. Maybe that's why she's being so resistant or whatever. Everything you just say kind of showcases why. And maybe one day I'll have you on too with a woman and we can kind of go back and forth on that.
Bro, I fuck with you anytime you need me back.
For sure. We're going to wrap it up here, man. Can you tell people how to find you on social media?
Social media is Malcolm Elliott Music. On Instagram, Malcolm Music. On Twitter, Malcolm Elliott Official. On Instagram, and anywhere you listen to music, it's just Malcolm Elliott. On all platforms, man. There's a lot of different shit on there. There's a lot of great music. More great music to come. Album coming. More shows. Just more time with this man here.
For sure. Yeah.
Me and Nick are gonna hit it off after this.
For sure, man. Man, we're shooting at Parallel Sound Studio. High Low Visuals behind these productions. Everybody go check out my dog, Malcolm. We're gonna be seeing him again soon. We're out. Peace.
Peace.